All right, so today I'm going to talk about some of the headsets. What's the best bang for your buck? Which one you should get? What features work better than other headsets on certain headsets? I'm just going to be going over all that. Going to go from left to right, which is going to be the less expensive to the more expensive. And then you can kind of make a decision based off of that to see whether or not you want to pick some up. There's also a new player that I haven't really seen many people post about, which is the Earmore. I'll talk about this headset and why I think this is the best bang for your buck. But yeah, I'm gonna get started with the Walker Razors. All right, so the Walker Razor Slims, these have been around for a while now. I've had these for a while too. I actually bought two pairs. This is the one I use for my daughter. My daughter uses this pair, and then I have this as an extra. These are the ones that I kind of started with, and they work great. They do have this dynamic range HD speaker. I don't know, it's on their site. Honestly, the speakers in this kind of suck. They're not that great. The microphones on it aren't that great either. If you put the volume too high, you do hear like a hissing sound. So that's my gripe with these, but they work great. You know, they're going to protect your ears. All these headsets protect your ears. But the speakers in here, the microphones aren't that great. Also, ambient sound, you know, it doesn't give you that stereo sound feeling. Like if you hear something coming from your left hand side, you kind of hear it on the right as well. So it doesn't do a really good job at kind of separating those two things from left to right. So it doesn't have a good stereo sound, but they work great. And you know, you can still communicate with each other. If you're wearing Earpro, you're not going to be kind of deaf. You'll be able to hear everyone around you. It just doesn't sound that great. So that's the only thing I have against these. It's just the sound, and the microphone quality isn't as great. But for 45 bucks, this isn't that bad of an option. Also, gel cups. They do have a gel cup insert that they sell. I believe right now they're like 16 bucks. So if you have razors already, and you don't have gel cups, you should do that, because this gives you a better seal and is a little bit more comfortable than using silicone ear cups. So definitely look into that. All right, moving down the line, we got the Howard lights. These are the Bolt Impact Sport Bolt. These are a lot different than the standard Howard lights. These actually have a 5-time better amplification than the standard Howard lights. They're also quicker, like I guess you can say quicker response time when it comes to you shooting. These shut off a lot quicker than the standard ones. I believe they kind of call it like a time attack or whatever. But yeah, these are great. The stereo sound in these, the speaker sounds really good. I mean, not like super nice, but a lot better than the Razors, that's for sure. And also the microphone here, it does give you pretty good, decent like stereo sound, so you can tell left and right when you have these on. So if someone's coming up to you and asking you something from your left hand side, you can kind of tell it's your left hand side, opposed to the Razors. I mean, you can do that from time to time, but most of the time you're kind of guessing to see where the sound is coming from, because you hear it from both ear cups. But yeah, these are pretty dope. These were actually mounted on a Team Wendy helmet that I bought, and I used them for a while before I took them off and upgraded to something else. So these Howards were upgraded to the gel cups. I believe it's a $20 part. I'll link it down below in case you already have Howard lights. Even the standard ones, they should have the same gel cup fitment. So I'll link it below in case you want to check it out. These are about 70 bucks on Amazon. So they are pricier than the Razors, but they do sound a lot better. So it is noticeable between the Razor and these that these are actually a little better. All right, so next we have the Earmore M32s. I first heard about these on Escape from Tarkov, and for you older folks, that's a video game, of course. I recently got into comms, and I wanted to find a headset that had like a microphone and a down lead so I can connect it to my radios. And it was pretty hard. They're pretty expensive, at least for the Peltor and the MSA options that I was looking into. It's about $500 to $800 bucks. So I saw these for $89. This is again a brand I saw on a video game, and I actually looked them up and they were real. I went ahead and ordered these, and when I got them in, I tested them out. These actually work really good. The microphones on these are great. It does give you a stereo sound, so you can tell if someone's coming from your left or your right. Obviously it has a microphone. Microphone is pretty good, and then the down lead here to connect to your radio. Although the radio portion of this, like the communication part of it, you do get a little slight hissing, staticky sound from time to time, and it's if you have the volume cranked up all the way high. So you want to keep it somewhere in the middle, and it sounds perfectly fine. This headset also has like a 4-hour auto shut off feature, so it kind of helps you save batteries. The only thing is that this headset isn't like the best built quality. It does have like a plastic battery tray, so it's not like a metal one. It does have an O-ring, but I don't know if I trust it, honestly. I don't know if I would use these in the rain, pouring rain, but if it's like sprinkling or whatever, I think you should be okay. Also, the microphone on these are interchangeable, so you can swap from left to right. And yeah, 89 bucks. The sound, actually, the speaker on these are actually pretty good as well. They do sound really good. But not the greatest. Moving on from the M32s to the Sortings. This here is my favorite headset. I've been using Sortings for a really long time now, and I kind of just fell into them kind of like how everyone else falls into them. They don't really want to buy these headsets. This is a $290 headset. No one wants to spend that type of money on a headset. But then again, once you use cheap headsets, cheap Earpro, like these Caldwells here, these are like $20 Earpro, and they work. This just sounds like garbage, and then this is silicone. It's just like a bad headset. So I've used stuff like this for a while, and then I slowly started upgrading. But as soon as I threw these on, it just changed my whole life. I actually have 4 pairs of Sortings, and I love them, but they're so expensive. They don't have a down lead or a microphone like the M32s here, but they sound amazing. These are actually, they don't do what a lot of these other headsets do, where they hear, like once the sound gets past a certain frequency or level, they'll shut off. These actually let you hear that gunshot, but at a really lower frequency. I'm just trying to like explain it as best as I can, because there's a proper way of saying these things, but I'm just going to explain how I understand it. So you could just hear that gunshot a lot like lower than you would normally hear it, right? And you can actually still hear what's going on around you without that like quick pause, which kind of throws people off. At least it throws me off when there's like a pause and then you hear sound again. It's kind of weird. These don't do that. They're super comfortable. The speakers on these is like amazing. It sounds like you have AirPods on, and you can hear people around you from really far away. The amplification on these is really nice too, and it's not like super distorted when something is really loud. So yeah, this is a headset. I love this headset. I will forever be a fan of Sortings. Even though the M32s are kind of making its way into my favorite headset now because of all the features and price point that this headset falls into. This is still going to be my go-to when I go to the range and stuff. But yeah, these are Sortings. Great headset. They also have like a slightly cheaper version of these Supreme Pro X's. These actually have a little LED light built into them, so you can use that when you're out on the range. You want to look through your range bag real quick. It's cool that it has that. These don't have that, and I feel like that's why these are like 20 bucks cheaper, because these are $295, and then these black ones here that don't have the light are around $275. So I'm not really sure what the big difference is, but they both sound amazing. I use both of them, and yeah, this is my favorite headset. The last headset is going to be these here. This is another variation of the M32. This is the M32N Mil Pro, so it's an upgraded version of the M32. It has better components inside. The speaker inside of this headset, or the speakers inside this headset, sound a lot better than the regular M32s. The microphone is a lot better. The microphones out here to hear ambient sound are a lot better. The stereo sound on these is really nice, so you can tell left from right really well. The sound isn't there as the Sortings. The Sortings always take the cake for that, but it sounds pretty good. It sounds pretty decent. Also, the microphones here don't compare to the Sortings, but they do a really good job. This headset here is worth $389. Now, that's a lot of money for a headset like this. You can, from time to time, you can go on eBay and find Comtacs for like $450 to $500. Those have the down lead and the microphone, and they're in pretty good condition for the most part. But this is obviously a new set for $400 shipped to your door, pretty much. And they work great. The build quality, like I was saying, is a lot better than the M32. Instead of a plastic battery tray, This uses a metal battery tray, so you have that upgrade. This has a 4-hour auto shut off like the other headsets do, so it helps you save battery. Uses 2 AAA batteries. Overall, this headset is pretty good, but I don't really recommend this headset unless you're looking into getting into communication stuff like this, like with using a radio with it, because obviously the sortings here don't do that. But these do, and they do it a little better than your standard M32. But if you're not too serious about getting like a really nice headset and you just want to be able to hear and talk to somebody and protect your ears from sound and stuff, then probably get the M32s because they're only $89 compared to these other ones right here. All right, so it's going to come down to these 3 headsets in 3 different price points. The Walker is going to be the cheapest option. Highly recommend these if you just want a headset to protect your ears and have the ability to hear people around you. It might not be super accurate, and the speakers in the headset aren't that great, but it gets the job done, and at $45 shipped to your door, not that bad of a deal. Next up is going to be the Earmore M32s. This headset is the one I recommend the most because it has the most features for the money. So you do get your microphone, your down lead, somewhat of a good stereo sound, so you can hear ambient sound. You can tell where it's coming from pretty decent. The speakers inside the ear cups work really well too. Not the best, but they do a lot better than the Walker. So $89, $100 shipped to your door. Pretty good deal for these. And then lastly, it's going to be the MSA sortings. This headset here is just a great headset overall. Doesn't have the down lead or the microphone, but they do everything else extremely well. The best out of all the headsets I've showed you today. The speakers inside of the ear cups are great. The microphones are super good. You can tell exactly where the sound is coming from. So these are really good, and they also come in different colors, not as many as the Walkers. The Walker, you can get them in orange and stuff like that. These come in a few colors and a few patterns as well. You can also get it with a neck band instead of this head strap, so you can use a helmet with them. So yeah, MSA sorting's best ones, $290 around there. $100 for the M32s and $45 for the Walker. So yeah, pretty much it.